Doing an oil change on a 2006 4Runner SR5. Should be the same as all V6 4Runners from Gen 4, 2003, 2009. Seen some other videos where people do this, and it's really nice. It's set up in a perfect shop, and they just pull that oil filter right off, and not a drop of oil comes out. But I want you to know that there's actually a little spout. Let's see if we can get to it underneath here. That's what that hole right there is for, and it's a little drain. So be ready when you open it. I happen to have a little Mardi Gras cup I shoved under there, and when I opened it, it started to pour out. You see I got I don't know, an inch or so full of oil that would have gone all over the engine had I not put that under there first. I did have my cap off, and I had my dipstick open just to allow for some ventilation, but when I pulled that off, it made a little bit of a mess, or would have made a mess had I not been prepared. You can see where the seal, where this oil filter sat, it's very dirty. So you want to make sure you clean that off really well. Make sure you're getting a good tight seal. This filter, I just bought this vehicle, and I don't know when it was changed, but that filter was very loose. I didn't have to do much to pull it off, and you can see how filthy it is. So I'm going to clean that really well before I put the new filter on. This vehicle's got 200,000 miles, and I just did spark plug replacement. They were pretty bad, so I'm assuming the oil's going to be about the same. I'm going to put a high mileage oil in. I'm going to still use the SAE 5W30, but I'm going to use a high mileage synthetic with about a half a quart of a seafoam product. Let's see. I'm going to use this Lucas, not seafoam, but this Lucas oil stabilizer, just to help out with this vehicle, just because I'm not sure exactly its history. It's a synthetic blend that I'm going to use. Alright, I'm about to get under and pull the drain plug, which is a 14mm bolt. Since this is real world, doing it in my driveway, like most of us who are changing our oil ourselves, we don't have a lift. So one of the things I have is, I just have this drain container, but I'm gonna lay this piece of cardboard down just in case anything splashes. I don't get oil on my driveway. So this one's been nicely colored. This is during the COVID quarantine time. Kids are just trying to find anything they can do. So they've colored this piece of cardboard, but we all have it. Everybody's Amazon, Walmart, buying things online. You have probably plenty of boxes, so just open one up and lay it under, just to help protect your concrete from having oil spilled on it. A little splash. So one thing you may know is that these vehicles take 5.5 quarts. So you're always going to be left over with that 1 quart that's got half full. So what I just did was I dumped the old one, the old oil that was a half a quart, just dumped it in there to try to flush out any of the oils. You see how clean and clear that is? That's just that half a quart that I dumped in to kind of flush the system. Push out any of the sludge, whatever that may have been in there. I already added the new filter on there. Most people know, if you're doing your own oil change, you know this little tip, but here's the old filter. And what I did is I took a little bit of that oil that I had dumped in to flush, and a little bit left in there, and I poured just a little bit in the filter. I didn't pour a lot because of the way you have to dump it upside down. It's just going to pour back onto your engine. You don't want to do that with that hole being there. But I poured a little bit in there, then I took my finger, wiped it around, and then just got my gasket on there. Just lubricated it with that oil to let it get a good seal after I cleaned off that area I was showing you earlier. Just let it get a good seal. Once I put it on there hand tight, I took my wrench, put it on there, and then got probably not quite a half turn, probably more like a 3/4 turn on there, just to tighten it up a little bit, get it snug. Now I'm gonna add the oil. Since I bought the 5-quart jug, I'm gonna take that and pour it in first, and then I'm gonna put about a 1/2 quart of that Lucas oil stabilizer in there. Like I said, this vehicle's got almost 200,000 miles on it. I just purchased it. Don't know a lot about the history. That oil looked decent on the dipstick. Decided to go ahead and change it anyway, and when it came out, it was black. So it was old for sure. So anyhow, I'll put that little stabilizer in there just to see if that'll help it out. All right, last thing. Since this Lucas bottle does not have any way to measure what half of a quart is, I just filled up that old one that I used to flush, the old bottle that I used to flush. I filled it up to almost half, just so I wouldn't overfill my vehicle. I just did it to almost half so that I could see it, see how much I was putting in, and then just dump that in. Just maybe an extra step, but it made it easier and gave me a little more confidence of exactly how much I was putting in after I'd already filled it up with that 5-quart jug. So, and you're probably looking at this thinking, he's putting 3 different oils in, but I'm not. This was just an old one that I had, same type of oil, but I used it to flush the system. That was all that was for, and then used it to measure out how much of the oil stabilizer I was putting in. All right, that's about it. Good luck. Have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll respond. So, have a good day.